Alafia, aho, I say namaste, and thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves with blessings to everyone, to the world. As what do we cling on? We cling on the points and the blessings of nature. What are the key points? Well, here you even have a vast slew of beautiful trees, the natural energies of God. We don't always need too much material things to be able to ground ourselves. So many have asked, what are the spiritual plants that really help us and help us to elevate? Well, there's different plants which I'm going to walk over to, which is the pine needle. Now, I always say, consult with your physician before looking into anything, before saying, okay, let me just grab this plant and do what I have to do. Make sure you're not allergic. Make sure that the spiritual energies are not just any ordinary plant, because not all plants are made for us to work with. So for example, I'm walking towards the pine needle tree, and there are many pine needles, okay? Pine needles are not only good for cleansing, you can actually boil them and you can make a floor wash. That is the natural pine needle energy. Now, if you live in the city and you are saying to yourself, how am I going to do this? It's good to try to get some space in the countryside. Try to go where they have a botanical garden and places like that, because nature will bring you back in your space. Sometimes we're so caught up with different things around the world, and those things, listen, they're sent to distract you, even of humans themselves, sent to distract you. So when you think about and you're running into the past and you're going over things that you can't control, you don't live in a time warp. Keep moving forward. Now, if there's something in the past that you have to contend with and fix, and you're able to do it, then do it. But oftentimes it's important for you to say to yourself, I have no control over this. God has control. This is the past. The past is the past, right? If you don't move forward, especially towards the ends of this year, as we're going into November, right? We're going into December, and then before you know it, it's already 2026. What was it that you needed to accomplish? Was it something material-wise? We try to live to the upkeep of society, and no, your expectations and your gratification should come within. If you are listening to this video, whether, God bless you, you're in a really bad time of your life, whether, God forbid, you're in a hospital or something happened, God has kept you alive for a reason. Breathe. Now, breathe. Here are pine plants and trees. Here they are right here. Right here. Pine needles have been very effective in cleansings. Also, too, what I do, but I don't recommend this unless you seek medical advice. What I do is I boil them and I simply drink the water, and it's so delicious. A lot of sugars are causing inflammations and so forth. So pine needles are really good for cleansing and bath. Now over here is more so of a swamp, right? What I did notice, which is a blessing, is here are some shells actually in the swamp, and these are snail shells. Let them live. I don't need them. We only take what we need, what is necessary, for example, for our spiritual purpose or medical purpose. So even this right here, this is very sacred, okay? What some people do, as this has no snail in there, what some people do, those who are spiritual, they take this and they put certain things in this and they carry it as a good luck charm. That is up to you and your energy and your space. It's always good to ask. Now, also too, in respecting nature, it's also good to look at all the signs. If you hear something, a bird, if you see a butterfly, if you see a cardinal and knowing that your ancestors are walking with you, if you see a blue jay and knowing that there's an energy around you that actually talks too much, these are signs that life is one big road, like Kennesaw said, with a lot of signs and more signs. So ground yourself. If you're caught up with one situation, with either family member, those of you who are elders in the community, godchildren, or spiritual people, let it go, even of the church, and you're going to stay stuck. And guess what? The 144,000 that people talk about, those who are chosen, but few are called, those people who are chosen know that it's not time for any kind of drama, or it's not an egotistical self. It's about you, yourself, and yourself again, because there's going to be a time where we have to reach that level where we're not going to be stuck in the third dimension. That's what energies want. We need to move up. There's fifth dimensions and so forth. I remember, may he rest in peace, my spiritual fairy mentor that often spoke about different dimensions of prayer and being able to travel safely and different places, even with elementals and so forth, was a blessing. Many things we don't see now, but later on, as we get older and wiser, it's not about what we look like, what we have in terms of material things. It's what about helps us to grow mentally, because when we leave this space, then we leave this space. So another issue is praying for those who have crossed on and who have passed away, because they still had a space within this universe, within this space and time. They occupied a physical space. That physical space is no longer here. So they have a spiritual space where they ascend. And when we hold on, it's okay to grieve. And when we continue and continue, how are they going to elevate? Spiritual people know this, right? So this is why it's important, even if you say a prayer, say the Psalm 23 Psalm, say Psalm 27, the Lord is my shepherd, and my God is my rock and my fortress, okay? So Psalm 23, Psalm 27, if you don't believe in that, then say a prayer first to God and then to your ancestors, because their flesh and bones have elevated. So going back to nature, it's good to spend quiet time, even if it's half an hour, 10 minutes, just of prayer. And if you don't have time, honestly speaking, then it's good to do what we call libations, prayers for your ancestors, praying to God first. Now, when you're in nature, make sure that you're very safe, of course. Do know that even the grass where you live, whether it's an apartment building, okay, whether it's on your land or someone else's, and there's another beautiful butterfly, that particular energy of that land has energy of people that once walked on that land. So it's important to always give thanks, but to always know even the grass is sacred. The flowers are sacred. And please forgive me, as there is a certain kind of noise coming through, and I don't own rights to that record. So how do you take yourself away from that? Center your mind and your space, because elevated people, we no longer, I promise you, it looks like people ask me, oh, you changed, you don't seem the same, things are different. Yeah, they are, because I look at life with wisdom and gratitude much different. Yes, I still get angry like a human being. I'm not an archangel, and neither are you. But guess what? We let that go and we keep moving. If something is not your business, then mind your business. That's what's important. Don't worry about the past or who was there and who's not there or who's coming through. Think about grounding yourself and working within your energy and space. So how do you do that? Breathe from your solar plexus. all the way up. These are your main chakras. Breathe and give thanks. Give thanks not for what you don't have, for what you do have. Alafia, aho, I say namaste. And thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. Blessings to all of you.